Hello and welcome to episode 52 and week 31, I think. So, what I'm working on now is installing these supports for the back boxes, for the sockets and the light switches. So what I'm doing is putting in the support and then I'm going to screw that onto there. Now I want the back boxes to finish 15mm out from the edge of this timber, because there's 12.5mm of plasterboard and about 2.5mm of plaster. So if I set those 15 out from that timber, then when the plaster's finished it should be flush and then the sockets will be mounted in the front. So the boxes are 35mm, so I've made up this little jig which sets back 20mm, leaving 15mm in front. So then I can just tap these in until that's flush the outside. So that is flush with the outside of that. So now what I'll do is put a screw in the edge. But before I do the other one, I'll just check its level. Check it's still in the right place. Just to go back a little bit. Level. Another couple in. Not there. That's my support in at the right depth. So now I just need to put my back box in. So I'm putting the back boxes in just roughly in the middle of that, which is about there. That's level. Put a couple more of these black pan head screws in. there you go, that's it. So that back box now should be £15mm from the edge of that, which I can't measure. There we go. So that is exactly 15mm from this line, 15mm out, which gives me 12.5mm plaster and plasterboard and 2.5mm plaster, and that front will be flush with the edge of the wall. So that's that little jig, and then you can go around, do all the boxes, and then it will be onto the lights. I've done them 450 up in line with new regulations. The boxes need to be at least 450 up, and the lights I think need to be 120 up. So that's what I'm going to do for the lights. So that's that. I'll show you the rest of the lighting now. So this is just an overview, if you can see it, of the electrics. It's a bit tricky to see, maybe I'll try and put this on the video. But basically this is a summer house, this is the workshop part. Got 6 sockets down here, 6 sockets down here, a heater there, socket, 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 sockets for the TV, double socket there, double socket there. Light switches will be here, outside light, outside light, outside light. There's going to be downlighters inside, 8 downlighters and 2 LED panels. Consumer unit's going to go there in the workshop, and probably some canopy downlighters in the overhang at the front. So that's kind of what we're dealing with. So quite a lot of sockets, quite a lot of electric work. I'm doing the first fix myself, but I'm going to get an electrician in to do the connecting the consumer unit up to all the circuits. So that's one double socket there, another double socket down there. I am now kind of tripping over myself with all the different jobs. This is where the heater's going to go, and I've put these 2 supports in at the top and the bottom, where the heater's going to fix, and that's going to be this fuse spur for the heater. And I've just chopped out there because these supports are flush with the edge, so I've just chopped out there so the wire can come down here into the box. There's another double socket there and another double socket there. Then I need to put the wall in here, and that wall in will then contain the rest of the electrics and the consumer unit on this side of that wall. Then there'll be 6 double sockets down there and 6 on the wall for the TV. But yeah, speaking to the electrician, he basically said, crack on, you can do the first fix, he'll come back and test everything. So obviously I'm not going to connect anything up to live, I'm just going to run all of the cables in and leave all the tails over by the consumer unit, and he will connect it up. So I'm going to run everything up the wall and in the ceiling, and then along and down to the consumer unit. So there's going to be 1 ring main for the sockets. There's going to be 1 separate fuse spur for this heater. There's going to be a heater in the workshop. There'll be 1 fuse spur for that heater. There's going to be a lighting circuit in the workshop, 2 LED panels, and a lighting circuit inside here for the 8 downlighters. Outside there'll be downlighters 1, 2, not downlighters, up and downlighters, 1, 2, 3, and then canopy downlighters. So there's probably, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 lighting circuits, 4 or 5 lighting circuits, 1 or 2 ring mains, 1 or 2 heaters. But I'll go over the actual wiring a bit more when I get to it. For the time being, it's just putting in the supports for all the sockets. Next job is to build the wall, so I can put the last batten for the ceiling and then get the ceilings in. The reason I've jumped onto these instead of working on the ceiling is because I want this glue that's holding this first set of battens to fully go off. So these ones were glued and screwed as I went. These first 3, I didn't think about this glue until I got to the 3rd one, so I've wedged in glue in the gap, hopefully. Feels pretty solid. That one I've also now screwed into the crown plate, and I've squeezed glue in the gap. So hopefully that won't go anywhere, but I want that to go off completely before I put the cross bands on. That's why I've moved on to this next job now. Also, here is a list of everything that's left to do. So, big one circle, mark all the studs. So as you're going around, I've already done it there, on the floor, mark your studs, because as soon as you start plasterboarding, you lose the studs and then you don't know where to fix anything. So mark your studs. This is what's left to do. Let's get a bit of light shining on it. There we go, hang on. So, what's left to do? Top wall plate for the inside wall, ceiling battens going that way, the last one, boxes for the electric, supports, back boxes, supports for the back boxes for the electrics, shed door, I've got all the frame, all the doors, build the frame, fit the doors, build the wall, put the ceiling battens on that go the other way, finish the boxes for the electrics in the wall, first fix electrics, insulation, plasterboard, vapor barrier for the plasterboard, OSB in the workshops, plaster, fill the gap around the doors. Then I've got to outside, do the framework, put the cedar on, put the flashings on, do the reveals and skirting, and decorate. So not many, nearly done really. What else? Oh yeah, that's the door frame. So door frame is here for the workshop. Nice hardwood door frame. That's the frame, and that's the seal. So I need to build that frame. Nice chunky hardwood. And here are the doors. So 2 external door blanks, solid, kind of, you know, made up of solid chunks inside. That is, they are solid. I'm going to oil them. I'm going to oil that with some Osmo UV Protect oil. Then I'll build it all, put it in place, and then it'll be fine for a while, be protected until I get the cedar on, because I'm going to clad this in cedar. Yeah, that's that. So next video should hopefully be building this, at least the top, getting the top plate in for this wall, so I can get the last batten in and get that drying, so then I can cross batten. I don't really want to build the whole of this wall now, because it blocks me moving around. So what I might do is just do the top, put the batten in, and then move on to the doors. Finish the doors off, get a bit of space inside, then do the ceiling battens. Right, thanks for watching. Hope that is interesting. Hope that tip with the little, what's it called? Jig is useful. Just means you don't have to faff around measuring each time. You can just offer that up and make sure the support is touching there and there, and then you know it's at the right depth. Right, see you on the next video, and hopefully things will be a little bit tidier.